Hey everyone, another little update video for you today. So I've got a few things to catch up on today. First one, and it's the big one, and it's the one that I really have been putting off because it's something I wanted to avoid at all costs. And that is our membership costs are going to have to go up. So our bronze membership is going to go from £34 to £37 a month. Our silver membership is going to go from £62 to £65 a month. Our gold membership is going to stay the same at £150 for unlimited use of the Academy. And our prepay sessions will stay the same at £100 for 12 sessions. This still works out to a very affordable price of £7.40 per class on a bronze membership and £6.20 per class on a silver membership and £8.33 on the prepay sessions. So we're still way under £10 an hour, which is really where we want to keep these. The memberships won't be going up until the start of July. I'm giving everyone over a month's notice, which is something the landlord didn't give to us. Now I know that's not great news, but the last time we put our prices up was in September of 2020 when we introduced the new membership system. So these have been fixed for almost 3 years now. I really didn't want to have to put the prices up, but unfortunately some issues outside of our control have come about. And I'm going to tell you guys what's happened because I want you to understand that this really is a last resort for us. We received an email from the landlord a few weeks ago at the start of May saying that they were going to put our rent up by 20%. Now 20% is quite a lot. And because they were obliged to or allowed to, they are backdating that increase to the start of the last quarter, which we've been told they are allowed to do. So effective immediately, they're putting a rent up, but they're also backdating it to the start of the quarter. That puts our rent arrears, including them charging us full rent during the COVID lockdowns when we could not trade, to £42,000. That's how much they say that we owe them, including the back date and the rent from COVID. Now, I cannot thank you guys enough because we were donated £8,000 from our members to help us get started again after lockdowns, and I really appreciate that. After some toing and froing, the landlord did also knock £7,000 off of the rent bill from the COVID lockdowns. But our rent is £46,500 a year. So that's a little under 2 months' rent that they've knocked off and a little over 2 months' rent that you guys have paid. Now, the time that we were under heavy restrictions took us from March 2020 right the way through until towards the end of summer 21, really before we could start trading normally again, when we had huge numbers of staff, we had very low numbers in here. And I know it's very easy for people to say, well, you know, of course you're annoyed, then you're the one that they're charging the money to. But my own personal morals are very different to those of the landlord. And I see my relationship with the landlord as we are a customer of them. We pay them for a service. That's not the way they see the relationships. They can backdate their rent, they can charge us during lockdown under the mantra of, and the thing they keep saying is that they are not a charity. And I find that very difficult to swallow because the moment that we were put into any form of restriction back in March 2020, before the full lockdown, when gyms were closed, I emailed all of our members and I put every single membership on hold because if we couldn't trade, if we couldn't give you a service, then we weren't going to charge you because that's what I chose to do. I know a lot of other businesses did the same. We've got a dance school who hire our dance studio and they were contractually obliged to pay us every month. But I said to them, during the lockdown, don't pay us. And I haven't charged them a penny for the time we were closed because they couldn't trade and that would damage their business and that would mean that those young people wouldn't have access to those activities anymore. So as a business owner, I took the decision to not charge anyone during lockdown. But our landlord has taken the other option and they wanted to charge us full rent. Now they have knocked £7,000 off of that, but they now want us to pay it back quicker. Now this means that they effectively want from us about another £2,000 a month, which is quite a lot of money. Can you imagine if I put a video out saying I'm putting up all of your memberships and I'm backdating it to the start of last quarter, so you actually already owe me money? I just can't imagine doing business like that, but that's because that's how I do business and that's not how the landlord chooses to do business. You know, what can we do? We have been paying the landlord our rent plus 10% since we came out of restrictions. So we pay them £1,000 per week. So that's £52,000 a year. So we're paying about £5,000 a year over the rent, but they still want more and they want it paid back quicker. That's why we're having to put the memberships up, which is very difficult for us to stomach because we've bounced back from COVID really well. And this has been a real blow. This is the kind of thing that's keeping me awake at night. It's causing me massive amounts of stress because I don't want to put my prices up. We're in a cost of living crisis. Everything's going up. I didn't want to put our prices up, but we haven't really got any choice. Putting the prices up by this much will bring us in about another £700 a month, but I don't want to put them up anymore. So what I am going to do is I'm going to set up a Patreon account. Now, this is something that a lot of YouTubers and creators do, and that simply means that if someone does want to give us a little bit more every month, they can. I'm in the process at the moment of setting up what you'll get in return for those things, but we'll probably put something like a £2 a month, or just put some money in the pot, thank you very much. Maybe £5 a month, get your name on the wall with a big thank you, and then maybe some higher tiers. And I don't really know what to do with that, perhaps asking you guys for suggestions on what changes we can make to the Academy, looking at potentially one-to-ones, t-shirts, these kind of things that we can give you that don't have a huge amount of cost to us, but are thanking you guys for making donations. So I'm looking at that at the moment. I'll be launching the Patreon later on. As a little extra context, and what we're doing at the moment to give you guys some idea of what that money's going towards. In October last year, we started up a not-for-profit arm of the business. So it's completely separate to Team Kinetix Limited, which is the legal entity we operate under. And we've got the Kinetix Academy CIC, which is a community interest company. That organization has been working with the Ministry of Justice, giving activities to young people at risk of offending, young people that are from the most vulnerable backgrounds, and giving them a safe place to come and to be, and activities working in partnership with the Active Essex Foundation and Street Games, which has been amazing. It's been amazing. We're also applying for additional funding to keep some of those projects going. And we've had just the most amazing outcomes with some young people that realistically a lot of other people have given up on. We've spoken to some referring organisations who have said, yeah, you can have these young people to do some activity, but you won't get anything out of them. And we've had feedback from them and from their parents saying that they've engaged better than any other activity they've ever done because of the magic that is this place, the magic that comes from our coaches, the magic that comes from parkour and acrobatics and circus skills as really inclusive, accessible activities. And I couldn't be more proud of the team and what we've achieved here. And I really want to carry that on. I don't want to have to, shut the place down and start operating out of halls and leisure centres again, because the bottom line is we're never going to stop doing what we're doing. It's quite nice to have a base and a home, and that's because of you guys. You guys make the atmosphere here, the people that come in and the families that we chat to and the kids that come in here and just have the best time every week and get to just be themselves and to have a little outlet and do some physical activity without someone telling them that they're doing something wrong or they're not going to get any points or they're not on the team. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. That's not why we do things. We want you guys to come down and just have somewhere to be and somewhere to exist and be part of something. And I can't thank you enough. And I do apologise that we have to put the prices up. It's not something I wanted to do. We've got 3 years without a price increase. I'm not going to arbitrarily put our prices up every year just because inflation says so. This is where we're at. This is what we have to do. So we'll be setting up a Patreon, looking for donations of a couple of quid a month if you can. If you can't, the monthly memberships will be going up. If this is the straw that breaks the camel's back, if you are in hardship, if this is really like you absolutely cannot stretch to another £3 a month, let us know. We'll see what we can do. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. As always, really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for helping us create this amazing thing we've got. And we'll get through this. It'll be okay. It will be okay. See you soon.